Yeah, did you see about the Epic Games the Epic Games sale? Epic Games launched their sale. I think it was a couple of days ago, and up to 75% off stuff, and anything that's over $15, they guarantee another $10 discount on it, and that doesn't come from the developer or the publisher. So, in other words, that comes out of their pocket. Obviously, the downside is you have to buy it on the Epic launcher. And anybody that bought a game in the last few weeks that is now on sale will get a refund on that amount. They are really going for it, and then it runs for like a month, right before the Steam sale kicks off. They are really trying hard. I don't think so, Jens. I don't think the kids will stop throwing money at Fortnite. As long as they continue to bring out dance moves and outfits, the money will flow. Oh, well, the problem with the launcher, Baz, is just the sheer lack of features. Like, it's not that it sucks. It's just that it doesn't have any features. It installs a game and runs it, and that's it. Like, just look at Satisfactory. They couldn't create an experimental branch. They had to create an entirely new game called Experimental because it doesn't have the feature. Your kids at work have their parents' bank accounts linked to Fortnite muffins. Why on earth would any parent do that? That's just madness. Some developers withdrew from Epic's sale because they weren't informed about it beforehand. Blimey. Yeah, you just wait though. If Epic Games does become like, I don't know, as big as Steam is, I bet they start getting a bit abusive of their powers. Like, there won't be Mr. Nice Guy about it. They're pretty ambitious. Steam on its first launch wasn't such a big either. Yeah, but Steam when it first launched, Captain Flint, was completely groundbreaking. It was like nobody else was doing that stuff. Now, if you want to enter a market and take on Steam, take on Valve, which is exactly what they're doing, you need to come out with a launcher that's at least as good as Steam's. And if they've really got so much money, which they clearly have, throw 100 developers at the problem and fix your launcher so that it's amazing. Yeah, he is Pirate Pete. They've clearly got huge budgets, so why don't they make a good launcher? Doesn't make any sense. You fixed your i5 laptop, the hard drive fell out. Blimey. How can a hard drive fall out of a laptop? They're normally in a caddy which is screwed in. The CEO of Epic has stated many times he's not interested in a good experience for customers. Well, he's a fool. He's an absolute fool. Right. Let's see what we're up to over here. I think this area is mostly done. There's not really anything I want to do to this. We could perhaps put some little suburbs out here if we want to. This needs to be fleshed out, I guess. There's nothing much going on here. In fact, considering we've got a bus station and no buses, that probably needs sorting out as well. Then, is the train running? I think the train's running. The train runs through that housing area. Some shots going here. He's only interested in letting devs get more for their products. I don't understand his mentality, Kermit Non. Why doesn't he care about the people that are shelling the money out and give them a better experience? I don't get it. Really, SnowRunner. You'd have to pay in US dollars instead of Canadian dollars, so that makes every game 30% more expensive. ETS 3? Dude, that ain't gonna happen, is it? Epic Store started off badly by not adding in simple things like a shopping cart and a search bar. There's a guy who bought 5 games separately off the Epic Game Store because he had no shopping cart and had his account marked for fraudulent activity. Wow. Because ETS 2 is boring, they're not adding new stuff. Wait, what? They're not adding new stuff to ETS 2? I thought they just announced a map DLC. They need to add more map stuff. Well, nobody disagrees with that, but that doesn't mean to say we need ETS 3, does it? Think about it. If they brought out ETS 3, what would happen to all your map? Would they just migrate it over? Or would they have to, you'd have to buy it all as DLC again? Like, would they take ETS 2 and all the map DLC and call that ETS 3? Or would they take ETS 2, sell it as ETS 3, and make you buy all the map DLC again? And if they did the latter, how much would people hate them for it? They would become Dovetail if they did that. Set up some bus routes. Okay, that takes you around the square. Or add pro mods to ETS2 multiplayer. Well, that's a separate project. That's not really an SCS project at all, is it? SCS doesn't own that. You think at some point the map DLC should be sold in the base game and get rid of the whole DLC thing altogether? Well, catch up, they do that kind of thing. They build packages every now and again. They'll call it like Deluxe Edition or something, where you buy the game with a bunch of DLC. So they do that. But you've always got to basically balance the people who bought the original game and then have bought DLC versus new players and everything in between. You don't see the point of ETS 3, the constant upgrading the graphics engine behind the scenes. Yeah, I mean, they're porting to DirectX 11 now. How can you make a lake in the middle of a city and increase the water level? You'd have to watch me do it. I can't explain what you do. You've got to basically put the water source in and then you move the level up to where you want it. I think they should bring out better stuff like that to PS4 and Xbox users. People can't afford gaming PCs. Well, that's an entirely different problem, isn't it? That's an entirely different problem. And people have been saying for a long time you should put it on console, and they know they should put it on console. But it's a technical challenge to do so. They've even had Microsoft offer to do it for them. Yeah? They've had Sony offer to do it for them. But they don't want to give it all to a porting team who then ports it. They get the code back and don't understand how to maintain it. They don't want to do that. And the moment they start taking on consoles, they've then got to maintain PC and console platforms, which just increases complexity quite a lot. And if you're a PC gamer, that really won't benefit you if they went down that road. Get people around a bit. Your daughter's 6-year-old birthday is over now. Bet that was busy. I bet she's flat out asleep now. You've watched too many games get dumbed down to work on consoles. I would agree with that. Euro Truck is one of those games that is on PC and not on console. And today, like, that is not a common thing these days. It's a game that's been out years on PC and has not made it to console. Do what Pharmacin does. One device every other year. Do you think that works well, Bob? Do you think that FarmSim on PC is like the best it could be? Or does it feel like a console port? What do they want? Not enough workers. FarmSim is the same thing every year, but a little different. No, every 2 years, Kermit. Every 2 years, they release FarmSim. And it's the same game. It's just like it's like a DLC almost. It's not 2 years worth of work, is it? Skylines is on console. Found the lack of mods. It's the same game. They've managed to make it work. It's been on PC for years before it came out on console, but they've managed to make it work so far. Right, let's see if we can get some stuff going on here. I can't remember what I was going to do with that area. Education boost, right? Okay, so this was a smart worker bit. So therefore we need schooling. Farm Sim for PC could be so much more complex, more simulator. Yeah, well, cattle and crops was the hopeful, wasn't it? It was all hoping that cattle and crops was going to be like the answer to that question, but it kind of didn't work out for whatever reason. Costa. No, it's not. The Metro train clogging still happens. Well, isn't Mud Runner 2 coming out fairly soon, don't it? I remember. This means people want a different game that's not Farming Simulator but plays exactly like it, but with added features Farm Sim doesn't have. I don't know. The physics in Farm Sim is like the physics in Construction Sim. I don't know if people actually want that or not. March 2020, blimey. Well, it's like the physics in Con Sim and Farm Sim is super basic, isn't it? I mean, it took a mod just to... What was that mod called in Farm Sim that actually gave it like kind of a movement to it, which ended up in the base game? Brother Mug, good evening. There's a lake round here, really. It's not like a park. Not bad, Phantom, thank you. I thought they had power now. Why is that complaining it doesn't have power? Took it a long time to realise. The hard part, you imagine, of a sim game is you want to make it complex enough so you can simulate things, but not too complex where people don't enjoy it because it's too difficult. Yes, that's always the eternal problem with a sim game. You've got your hardcore simmers at one end screaming that they want it to be difficult and more simulatory. Most people exist in the kind of world where I'd like to be able to dial it up and dial it back depending on my skill level, yeah? That's where most people are. And then you got the people who just want to mess around. The arcaders. The people who want to play a sim but have it play like an arcade game. As in things like Farm Sim. Mr. Stooshu, welcome back. CrossFits, thank you for almost a year. Have a lovely Saturday, everyone. Thank you, CrossFits. And you. Human Shield, 5 months. Kian Phantom, welcome back. Thank you for 11. Arakas, I am indeed well. Thank you for 17 months. ETS is roughly in the middle. ETS has some options to allow you to make it more arcadey or more simulation, but there's not a lot of scope. Like the truck trailer physics that they brought in definitely helped with that. But if you take something like a flight sim, you know, you can turn off crash damage and things like this, but it still doesn't make it an easy game, does it? Because flying a plane is not actually easy until you know roughly what you're doing. I mean, you've got GTA flight physics. Well, anybody can fly in GTA, but the physics is like if you're used to flying, it just feels weird in GTA. But there's, interestingly enough, in like ETS2, there's no... I think the gameplay underneath, the logistics network underneath, that's where a lot of the simulation side needs fleshing out. You know, the finance of it, moving goods around, all that kind of thing, they could build that out a lot. Me neither, Heyman. He's going to say a proper flight sim is not very arcade. Like even the smallest plane, you need to understand how it works. Well, that's kind of what I was saying, Baz. You can turn off the crash damage so that your plane bounces off the ground. But it doesn't mean to say you'll be able to land the plane properly. But I mean, take navigation, Baz. Navigation, right? It's never going to be easy. Unless you just program the computer to do it for you, I guess. Need more residential. Let's get some more housing up down here. Some shops down there. Even then you need to program an FMC, which is not easy either. Yeah. I mean, you know, like you say, flight sim, just flying around is one thing. Then navigating's another. Then there's the flight management's another. City sim games, you'd like to see visuals representing what's real. Yeah, I think, you know, even on my PC, even with Skylines, once you get above 200,000, you start feeling your frame rate dropping. If they simulated the underlying, like every sim 200,000 sims making individual choices and the logistics and stuff, it probably crippled your PC. I got a feeling I was going to make this into some kind of recreational, though. I just can't remember. There's literally nothing else you can upgrade to alleviate its 100k frame rate issues. No, Jackhammer. I mean, I've got... Let me try and show you. So... What's that? 36%. Look how many cores I've got here. And it's not exactly thrashing them, is it? And then there's a GPU down here, which is on 20% load. Like 20% load. But mostly this game is a CPU-bound game. And you can see a lot of it's just happening on one core, which is very, very, very normal for a game. It doesn't thread well, and that's ultimately the problem. It's not really RAM that's the problem either. I got 32 gig of it. It's a CPU game, but the game doesn't spread over CPU cores very well. Yep, that's true, Kermit. How much of the game do you want to simulate? Where sim games get even more tricky is when you're talking about multiplayer. Which, you know, for MudRunner to do what it does in multiplayer is pretty impressive. Because if you're deforming terrain, if like one player is deforming terrain, all the terrain deformation has to be communicated to the other players like in real time. And then the effects of that have to be applied in their game and so on. And it's a real tricky problem. You're in the ultimate sim, lol. Let's get that built up. Maybe they can get some workers soon. What are we doing here? Let's have shops here. A shopping centre there. Wow, that's a small parking. Flippin' heck. Uneducated workers. Carpol uses regular game PC for flight sims. One of the reasons I run it on a separate machine... Well, there's a couple of reasons I run it on a separate machine, Fox. One is because the sheer amount of, like, scenery, it's terabytes. I have 2 6-terabyte hard drives in the flight sim rig. Containing all the ortho scenery I've generated. And I don't want them on my main rig. There's just not enough room for a kickoff. And the second reason is, I like having the rig just dedicated to flight simming. You know, I don't have to patch it. Like, I can update the drivers when I want to. When I used to use P3D a lot, it's very kind of temperamental to change, you know? So I like to keep things... I can update my gaming rig frequently, and my flight sim rig can just be stable, which is like one of the biggest problems with flight sim, is just getting it stable and then keeping it stable. So that's why I had it on a separate machine. A lot of these people who run the like the commercial flight sims, they don't touch them for months. Like, they don't update them because you trying to keep it stable is really hard.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Could link this road through under here. That might be fun. Bring it round up there, possibly. That might work. Probably punch our way through there a bit. But, I mean, you know, if I want to switch my flight sim rig, it takes like 5 minutes of swapping cables around. Swap the power cable, the network cable, the monitor cables over, and then things like mouse and keyboard. Like, it takes 5 minutes to move it all over and then boot up the machine. So it's not a big pain. I mean, that machine is not as powerful as this machine, but it's good enough. Is that one? I think it is. Looks like there's a...
Nutter.
Let's move that. NPR, how you doing? How's the RL flying? I flew to Lid on Thursday. I'm booked to fly. I'm going to fly this week on my own, but I'm going to take my daughter up for her birthday. So she's not been flying yet, so that's the plan for that one. And then the week after, I think I booked the plane for a double slot, but I've not decided where I'm going to go yet. I just hope the weather's okay, because that'll be my last one until I go to Orlando. You getting a new truck at work next week, Callum? What have you got now? Do you know what you're going to get? Off. You better get to range T. DCS is on the flight sim rig. So the flight sim rig has DCS and X-Plane, and that's it. I want to cut this up. What are you doing, noob? Oh, well. You're definitely not a troll seeking some attention, are you? Right. Yeah, you'll be fine, your driving test, honestly. I mean, you're going to get nervous anyway, but try and relax. Let's go with that. Have you got your dad's selfie poses ready for when you take... Oh, she'll be getting a phone out just going clink, 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 clink. You have a DAF, but you don't know what truck you're going to get. Blimey. That is a surprise then. Huh? Doyle now? Blimey. An early Doyle. Guess. Why are you going out with him? Well, Lord Doyle the Shine's going to make an appearance shortly. The early Doyle. Right. Down there. Come on, pal. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up you get. Come and say, hey. There he is. The real star of the stream. Early Doyle catches the treat. Has he had a trim? I don't believe so. A few more weeks before he has a trim, I think. He's even cuter in 1080. Is it a shower at all? I think he definitely needs one.
Put him in my new bath.
Eh?
I don't want to put him in my new bath.
Well, I know, but
This is only 2 weeks.
I'll do it. He blankly needs it. Seeing Doll's the best part of the stream. Thanks, Manly Mutt. You think your cockapoo needs a trim? Your sister said he looks like a hobo.
Oh.
Get that one in a bit, Doily. I'm sure you'll find it.
Sit down.
Eurovision tree mark. Jeez, does anybody still watch that? You can get it in a minute, Doyle.
Just like to let one go.
Yeah, get it in a minute, pal. It's still there, okay? All right, Luke. You're gonna watch it, Devil? Jeez, man.
Is that on tonight then?
I don't know. I think so. See, it's there. You numpty. Doyle, behind you. Oh my God, you're blind. You're actually blind. No. Jeez. Sometimes I worry about what he can actually see. Can I have another brew before you go? Thanks. Go on, you're done, pal. Yeah, see when he's moving. It's like a T-Rex. If a cheesy bite was running across the floor, he'd have it. Oh yeah, he doesn't want to miss that one. The thing is, he looked at it and then just... He's like, where is it? Where is it? And it was right in front of him. It's crazy.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Right.
Welcome.
Miss Kelly Stewart, 3 years. Hello there, long time no see. Been very MIA recently. Miss Kelly Stewart, welcome back. Thank you for 3 years support and staying subbed even though you couldn't be here. Thank you. Which one's pink 2 with 4 months? Let's put a little park here or something.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Oh, I didn't notice that elevation change there. Blimey. It's quite nasty. That makes it interesting. Makes it more fun. Nerdy Drew, welcome back. You're back after a short DCS session. Your AJ-11A shot my Hornet booted in pieces. Oh dear. No, Nerdy Drew. You still have your golden acorn. No, Dave, Mrs. Squirrel doesn't want to shower Doyle because she doesn't want to, like, we've got a new bathroom, haven't we? And she doesn't want to dirty the new bath. That's what it is. But he needs it, so I'm going to have to do it. To be honest, I think out of all of us, he quite likes it when I bath him. When he goes with me to the bath, he basically tries to get in, like he wants to have a bath. It's quite cool. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll leave that bit, this trees here, and we'll build this out and build this out. Garden hose? Nah. Not for my doily. What, you mean U-boat? Right, we need housing. Lots of housing. I think over here we'll put some more high-dense housing. Some shops on that side near the train track because it's noisy. I'm gonna hold off on U-boat for a bit and let it let them kind of catch up on it and fix some bugs and change the UI, you know. I'm just going to hold off for a bit on it before I try it again. Actually, we could do with a footpath here. Right, we need some buses and stuff around here. Is U-boat the right English term for a submarine? Yeah. They called them a U-boat in the war. Are you going to play the bus conductor sim? Luke Pryor. Is it a player way? I've never heard of it. Let me have a look. Is it on Steam? Nope, it's not on Steam. You'd play that, Heyman. I think the translation for that Langevart would be underwater boat, wouldn't it? But it's still U-boat either way. There's a bus. Let's have a look. Train up there. You want buses here. Where's the nearest bus depot? Can kind of do with a bus depot down this district. Just played 3 hours of Tourist Bus Simulator. I hope ETS 2 had so deep business management. It doesn't though, does it? Teeth Brushing Simulator, NPR. It's quite worrying, isn't it, really? We'll flash that up later, but we need to find out where we're going to put a bus depot. Could stick it here. Trouble is, when they want to return, it's a bit of a pain. Otherwise, it means buses get on that highway, come pelting down here, and they can't get off.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
No, I don't play Vanilla Aim Fast. Bullets Co. 38 months proper human life simulator would be class, especially if online. Hasn't there been attempts to do that one, Bullets Co? Wait, identity. Sorry. Frog in my throat. Langeveld, we've always been living on the edge of like the demise of the end of the world. It's been going on for a long time. What was the last end of the world scenario? Was that 2012? I can't remember. Before that, it was the year 2000, I think. What happened to identity? There's... Let's just say it got flushed down the toilet. There you go. That sums it up really, doesn't it? The Mayan prophecy. Oh, come on. Hot chilies, dude. Don't be caught up by it, mate. The people who allegedly prophesized this are all dead. You're talking about, like, ancient people prophesizing stuff? People who believed in stuff that makes you laugh now? Why would you believe their prophecy? Yeah, there is a Fruit Loop trying to predict the end of the world constantly.
Aye, 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 aye.
Kieran Hell, thank you for 310 bits, Kieran. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a bus depot anywhere. So we'll just create bus routes and let the game figure it out. I tell you what, I think I will try Transport Fever 2. I'm going to give that a whirl when it comes out later this year. The end of the world is when you die, at least for you. Yeah, but that's not the end of the world, is it? That's the end of your life. Like, the world's been here, what, 6.5 billion years? You just wasn't on it. Doesn't mean say it's going to end. Any predictions for 4028? Yeah, I think we should come up with our own end of the world prediction, Ecolos. We'll call it the Nuthouse Prophecy. And see how many mugs believe it in a few hundred years' time. Mad Mick, good evening. Well, what a morning up close and personal with the Vulcan. Oh yeah, I forgot about you went for the Vulcan bomber. Even sat in the cockpit. Nice. How the full power runs when they were awesome makes the C-172 look like a toy. Oh yeah. Actually, that reminds me, I forgot, Mad Mick. Next week is when I fly to Wattisham. I think it's this Wednesday. Yep. Military airfield flying on Wednesday. That's going to be hype. The home of existentialism. Do you think we'll all live 100 plus years, Geosec? I don't know. I met a guy yesterday who next month is 101. I was trying to work it out, and I thought to myself, hang on, this guy is 101 years old. That means he was born at the end of he was born at the end of the First World War. That's insane. 101 years old the guy was. Right, we'll go there. Got a little route round here, I think. Stop that public footpath so you can get to school. Medically, we can reach above 100 years. Oh, yeah. Of course we can. So you found out the actor Kirk Douglas is still alive. You thought he passed away years ago. He was 103. I must admit, I thought he was dead, but 103 is nuts. Mind you, he was super fit when he was younger. We need a bus that runs through this bit, I think. Well, I suppose they can walk, technically. It's not that far. We'll put a bus stop on for the millennials. Want to be carried to the train station. Wasn't the oldest person in history recorded 110? Nah, it's been older than that. I think there was, if I remember rightly, there was some religious thing. I can't remember if it was the Bible or somewhere else. It said that nobody can live over 120 years old. And then I think some Japanese guy lived to like 121 or something. Yeah, there you go. 122. Was it a Japanese bloke or a woman? It was something like that. Yeah, I know it is. It's nuts. Should do it. Medically already died once back in 99 when he had an accident. Yeah, it's like there are a number of people who have died medically and then come back. That's possible. Wow, still need more houses. I was thinking about putting offices here, but I'm not sure now. Let's get the suburbs built out. People started working on this and still refusing. I think they did. You mean the one down here? I think that's taken care of ever since we built this kind of dedicated schools out area nearby. Things went okay. But there's still plenty of industry still not moved in yet, for whatever reason.
Welcome back, Nutter.
I think I'm going to link these roads. Maybe that'll help. Too much pollution. Dude, this is not right. There's no such thing. We have no limits on pollution. Japan, after someone broke the old age record, the PM went to see them, but they had been dead 20 years. What? You poured hot oil over yourself when you was 3. Oh my god. Is there a lake in the middle of town? I wouldn't say it was a lake. I'd say it's a man-made water feature. I had this crazy idea weeks ago and built that. It's kind of like, it's weird. I kind of dreamt it and then made it. Laptops rule, welcome back. Started off by making an excavation area, then making a rectangle around it, then building a highway across with an island in the middle, trimming it all out, and then filling it with water. It turned out okay. They'd probably want schools out kind of workers. They're not getting them because this is a bit of a high-tech area. So that could supply them if we made this a schools out area. What do you think about Campus DLC coming for this game? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's going to do for the education system what the previous DLC did for the industrial system, I guess. I don't know how well it's going to work practically speaking, but I guess we'll see. Should have got some schooling.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
You recommend elevated footwalks between districts? I don't find I need the elevated ones too much, to be honest.
Welcome back, Nutter.
I do use them, but not, like, sparingly, basically. Like, between there and there, we could do it, just to get people from the station to walk home if they want to. That would make sense. DJ Bobber, welcome back. After seeing your Foursquare design, I thought of something similar, but with a big roundabout in the middle. Yeah, you could do like a roundabout with a moat around it, and then have like bridges connecting across. Yeah, I'm worried about that too, Luke. I'm worried about the DLC breaking the my game. You know, it can and does happen. to get some buses, little shuttle buses going here. From the... Not sure if I'll build on anything on that, to be honest. Suppose we could build on this side. Might as well have a roundabout with a moat. We get some housing and shops down here. Get some shops over there. If I used the University DLC on an old map and it seemed to work okay. Yeah, it's not so much the map though, Salty Nut, it's the mods that I use. Like whenever they bring out a DLC, they often change the underlying game as well. And that tends to break like major mods, like for example TMPE. It might suddenly die. The assets are usually okay, it just tends to be the coded mods that I use. Like Life Balancer or TMPE. Or real engineering, like stuff like that tends to need patching by the developer, and sometimes the devs just don't maintain it anymore. And you're then stuck with a save game, or you can't use your favorite mod.